Welcome back, everybody. It's back to school time, and whether your student is learning from home or heading back to the classroom, they'll need to get back into a regular sleep routine. So we want to know, what are some of the best ways to encourage that? Joining me this morning is Regents Wellness consultant Justin Jones. Good morning, Justin. Thanks for being here.
Happy to be here.
All right, well, first question for you. What are some concerns there are when reestablishing a routine for both adults and children?
Sure. Well, one of the results of this pandemic has certainly been loss of routine, and the sleep routine is one of those. The disruptions that we have found in that, the hard part about the disruptions, especially with sleep, it just leads to other health and wellness problems, which is anxiety and depression, which we're seeing a lot of, weight gain, and even reduced immune system. And so that's a big concern. A lot of physicians across the country that deal with sleep have been labeling this COVID-somnia. And that leads to insomnia or hypersomnia. There's a lot of pieces we need to be worried about, and so it's important for us to get back to that routine.
Of course, and this is not going to happen overnight, no pun intended. So what good habits can we start with to counteract some of those bad sleep habits?
Well, I have a couple for you. I think the biggest one is just getting back to that routine and develop a routine. And it's important to get our kids involved with that routine as well. Teach them about why we want to get into that routine. But one of the biggest things is to go to bed every time, or at the same time every night, as well as wake up at the same time every morning. And if you can get that sleep routine started about an hour before you go to bed, is important to get your body ready to go to sleep. The other one is exercise. We know that people who exercise at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise sleep better at night. And so it's important to get our kids out as well as ourselves to get out and exercise every day. And two things to probably watch out for and maybe avoid are caffeine, especially if you're sensitive to caffeine. Caffeine has a half-life that about 6 hours and a quarter life of 12 hours, which means if we drink a cup of coffee at noon, by midnight, that caffeine is going to still be in it. So if you're sensitive to caffeine and you're not sleeping, you need to look at your caffeine consumption. And then the last piece is just alcohol. And alcohol is a sedative, but we can't replace, or we can't confuse sedation with sleep. Alcohol can really disrupt our sleep patterns, especially that deep REM sleep that we're all after. And if we don't get that, we wake up and we feel unrested. So I think if we just get those routines together, get some exercise and maybe just reduce some things that maybe keeping us up at night are a good place to start.
Perfect. Justin, we're almost out of time, so one last question for you. It's important to think about where we sleep as well. Tell us a little bit what we should keep in mind about a sleep environment.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, with the, as far as our sleep environments go, I think is an important one, and really to optimize our sleep environment. And there's three things that we can do there. First one is in our bedroom, just keep it cool. Cooler temperatures really promote sleep, and they reduce, perspiration, which can really lead to some discomfort. So keeping it cool is important, and keep an extra blanket if you need to. That's if it gets a little bit cool, it's better to be able to put on a blanket than it is to just be hot in that room. Probably the biggest one is to remove distractions. If we can remove those TVs and remove those devices from our bedroom is going to be important. I know that's hard because a lot of us, go to bed and we have that phone with us all the time. But that blue light that's emitted from those screens can keep us up at night. It throws our rhythm off a little bit. It almost makes us feel like we're waking up, or it's daytime because of the light. And so that's an important one. And a good solution for that is maybe just to have a place for the entire family just to plug their phones in at night and keep them out of the bedroom. Another one is darker the better. Get those lights turned off. Darkness really promotes melatonin release, which is a sleep hormone. And so if it's light in your bedroom, sometimes that can keep us up at night too. So I think if we keep those distractions out of there, it is a good place to start. And then that could be a tough one in this day and age.
I gotcha. All right. Well, Regents Wellness consultant Justin Jones, thanks for joining us this morning, everybody. We'll be right back with a little more Good Morning Idaho.